everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's a beautiful day here, Saturday on the West Coast. We love it when we get sunshine. We don't often get a lot of sunshine. Typically we get a lot of rain, and it has been raining, but we finally got some sunshine. So I've been spending a little bit of time kind of catching up on things, getting product shares out and doing some things in my craft room this morning. But I wanted to jump on and share a project using the Beachfront Boardwalk suite. So the stamp set, the bundle is called Beach Walk Fun, and the suite is called Beachfront Boardwalk, and it's so much fun. I shared a card I made on a recent blog post. The roller coaster on this reminds me of the wooden roller coaster at the Pacific National Exhibition in Vancouver. That is way scarier than some of the brand new roller coasters. It's so rickety, it really is scary, but it's so much fun to go on. So I want to play with that. I'm going to use the Ferris wheel. And it's lovely. It's such a cute Ferris wheel, and you can put the little cars on it, so I'll show you that. So I'm going to jump over and we'll make a card together. Don't forget, leave a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. What are you working on in your craft room? What's on your desk today? All right, here we go. So this is the Beach Boardwalk bundle. There we go. So this is a stamp set, so it's got the stamped, you can stamp the roller coaster with the cars. There are dies that cut out some cars, so you can pop those up. You can stamp some palm trees. You can also cut palm trees out. Great sentiments. So this is perfect for any occasion. Birthday, celebrate, enjoy the ride. I just love the sentiments in this one. And then these are the dies. The only other dies I've got, there is the ticket die, and the little die that you can cut the cars out. And so here's the Ferris wheel that I'm going to use today. Isn't that fun? Some palm trees. These are the cars. Some stars. You can cut some little circles and a banner and some other stars. It's very fun. You know, when I saw this, I wasn't so sure about it, but it's one of those you have to start seeing the samples with it, and then you're like me, you go, oh yeah, okay, I have to have that. All right, so I've got a piece of Pull Party. I've actually already gone and scored this. I've forgotten I had done that. Well, let's score it again. So this is 5.5 by 8.5. So we will score this. It looks like I just folded it, so we will score it where I folded it. Always better to score your card bases rather than just fold them. So then fold into the mountain or the raised line and give it a good burnish with your bone folder. Okay, so Pull Party. So then I've got a piece of basic black that is, let's see, 2.25 by 5.25. And a piece of this is one of the gorgeous designer series papers. So there is the ones with the tickets, but this is the Pull Party with the stars and circles on it. Kind of looks like waves. And so this is 2 inches by 5.25. Oh, Betty, yeah. You're waiting on that one too. Yeah, it's fun. I wasn't so sure about it, but gosh, once you start playing with it, I can't stop now. Between the Ferris wheel, the palm trees, and the roller coaster. Yeah, I did share a project a little while ago where I stamped the roller coaster. Yeah, I was trying to think. I've made quite a few projects and I used them, but I can't remember what I've actually done live. All right, so we've got our piece of designer series paper, and then that is going to go on. I'm just going to put it right in the center. If you wanted to, you could extend this out when I cut it out, and I'm not sure what I was thinking. I thought I was going to put a card base, like a piece of basic white on, and then decided not to. So if you wanted to, the DSP is called Beachfront Boardwalk DSP, and it's part of the suite. And I don't have all of the pieces to show you. It's in the can't remember what page of the catalog, but yeah, Beachfront Boardwalk is in the January to April mini catalog. So if you wanted to extend this, I would cut the basic black to be 2.25 by 5.5, and then the DSP to be 2 inches by 5.5, and then it would extend end to end. Oh, you're waffling. I thought it said you were waiting. Yeah, no, this is so much fun. Okay, look at this adorable Ferris wheel that you can cut out using that die. It's all one piece. And then, let me get them here. This die cuts out 6 cars or baskets for the Ferris wheel. And if you double your DSP, I cut these out of DSP. I always end up with scraps of DSP. So I've cut them out of the same DSP as I've used here. You could use cardstock, but I had the scraps around. And so look at these little cars that you can cut out that go on the Ferris wheel. Now there's a couple of ways to attach these. It's a bit, I won't say it's like, there's 12 cars, so it doesn't take long to do, but you can do it 2 ways. The easiest way, I think, is just to take your liquid glue and just put a little dot of liquid glue, and you can do this, you know, a few ahead, and then you can just take, and I haven't worried about gluing the whole car down. I'm just taking part of the car, so the basket part of the car, and attaching them. You could also do glue dots, but I think these are just a little bit pickier to do, the glue dots, because you have to kind of roll up the glue dot and make a little ball out of them, and so that takes, I think, a little bit longer. And I had cut these doubles, so some of mine are doubled over. So I think the liquid glue, just a little dot of liquid glue, but if you don't like liquid glue, then use a glue dot. You'll just have to kind of roll the glue dot into a little bit of a ball before you can, because they're too big for the little die cuts. They are little, but you can use, if you've got a take your pick tool, grab your take your pick tool and pick up the little cars with your take your pick tool and then put it on, and that helps. Oopsie, kind of have to get it settled there. Pick it up on the, I've got these, there we go. Pick it up on the right side, so the side you want facing outwards, and then you can just take and adhere them on like that. I think I've got one more. I think this is doubled. There we go. Sticking to my fingers. One more. So it doesn't take too long. Partially out of the camera. Is that better? Hopefully that's better, baby. Sorry. Okay, so there we go. We've got our cars attached on. Now, I have just been taking and using a dimensional in the middle. It kind of pops it up a little bit and just holds it in place. If you want to put more dimensionals on, oh, there we go. Some off of it. Let's do this, and that gets me back into the thing. If you wanted to use more and have this adhered down, then you can take either the adhesive foam strips and just cut a little bit, and so then that will adhere your kind of the legs, the feet, whatever they call that, the plunks, puts the Ferris wheel, attaches it to the ground and holds it in place. So you can use the adhesive, if I could get this off, adhesive strips. Or if you don't have the adhesive strips, then take, oopsie, trying to get this in place and it keeps sticking to my fingers. Do this before you put it down. There you go. There, that's on. If you don't have the adhesive strips, take either your dimensionals and cut the edge, or the mini ones are even better. There's quite a wide edge on the mini dimensionals that don't have dimensionals. So when you pop your dimensionals off, it's quite wide. So you can just take and cut that and use it. There we go. Okay, so I'm keeping this pretty simple. I went ahead and cut out, look at that fun ticket. It's got some score lines on it that you can cut out. And I'm going to use Versamark and do some heat embossing because I thought that a white sentiment would just really make that sentiment pop out. And so I'm going to just use my embossing buddy to kind of clean that off. Versamark, and then I'm using the Celebrate stamp. So we'll just stamp Celebrate, unstick it. And now I've got my white embossing powder. And hopefully I don't get this all over the place because that's what I usually do. And so you can just take, there, it really makes the sentiment pop. Okay, so now heat tool and tweezers so I don't burn my fingers. There we go. And now just hold this in place until it heats up and starts to melt, and you'll see it go from that kind of dull matte finish to being white and shiny. There we go. And then you can start to move it across the entire sentiment. Don't hold it in place over the powder or the melted powder for too long because it will actually cause the embossed image to kind of sink into the cardstock. It kind of just starts to disappear a little bit and go. All right, so we're going to just use some dimensionals to pop this up. I love black and Pool Party together. All right, so you can actually either just tuck that underneath or over top, but I don't want to cover up the cars, and so I'm just going to tuck that underneath like that. There we go. So we have our Ferris wheel. Now I've pulled out, these are the Moody palette dots. They are part of the Lovely Blossoms suite that's an online exclusive, and I'm just going to use the white ones. I love the kind of very plain white. Just thought it went. There we go. And I've got a piece of basic white, so that's 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I cut a piece of this same designer series paper that is 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4. And this just a little bit of something on the bottom. If you wanted to, you could stamp a palm tree or something, but I thought just a little piece. I always have scraps of designer series paper, and I'm sure you do too. And we will put this on the inside of the card. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Isn't that fun? I love the Ferris wheel. And so if you're on the fence with this one, take another look at it because the paper is gorgeous. It's some really pretty paper, as well as just really fun dies and fun stamps and great sentiments that you can use for all sorts of occasions, especially the Celebrate. It works for any occasion. All right, there we go. There is my card. Thanks, Sarah. All right. That's one card I've made. Now, if you haven't watched my lives recently, I think I did one a week or so ago, and that I shared, and I've got more coming up, so stay tuned because I have been having lots of fun. When I first saw this stamp, this bundle, this whole suite, I immediately thought of a bendy card, and so I'm going to share one of those this week, probably on Wednesday, so stay tuned. I thought that the the roller coaster and stuff would be perfect for a bendy card. All right, thanks for joining me today. Hope you have a great day, maybe spending some time in your craft room, or if it's a nice day where you are, make sure you get out and about. I missed it yesterday,